All right, so in our particle simulation, let's grab our pop source node, hit the P key to look at our parameters, and we're going to start tweaking these parameters to have this start to do what we want. So first off, I want the source emission type to be points. We'd used all points before because we wanted particles emitting from every point on every frame, and this time we just basically want to use those points as a starting point batch. So we're going to set that to points. We're going to turn impulse activation to 0 and constant activation to 1, and we'll have the birth rate be 250. Okay, so we're going to have the life expectancy be 10 and the life variance be 5. Now over in the attributes tab, we want to have it add to inherit velocity, but this time we're going to jack that up to 50. We're going to have it be a lot more to begin with because we want to have this kind of explosive outpouring out of the initial point of this volcano. You can see actually we were scrolled over to frame 57 and already, it kind of pre-rolled that and the particles are popping up. So let me go back to frame 1, and then we're going to change some variants here. Often we've turned this down or we've set it to different things. This time I'm going to change it to 0.2 across the board, just so it adds a little bit of randomness into that initial kind of conical, pointing out from the center up velocity vector that we had defined. So now let me just play this back. And you can see, because we had created those velocity vectors that were shooting out sort of from the origin, we have this kind of funnely particle shape. And so this is a good illustration of how when we set up those vectors manually in SOPs, we can start to shape our particle motion before we even get into the dynamics context. And obviously this is pretty extreme. These are flying out everywhere, and we're going to add quite a few nodes just to control and shape the way that these particles unfold. But now we have our initial sort of volcanic explosion starting point for our particles.